is up? Matthew Boy here for the first reaction to album 1 by San Holo. We love the singles, we love the artist, we love his live shows, big singles, great remixes, all of the above accolades that, the top producers in the game have. I'm curious to see if San Holo can make a 12-song cohesive project that keeps my interest the whole way through. I want no skips. It's a lot to ask for, but maybe San Holo can do it. First song is Everything Matters. Okay. There's like some rumblings going on. I think they'll start very delicate. Very interesting start. Did not expect almost like a progressive house song. Crisp guitar. And that trap. Banger-ish, It's just really low key though. Super pretty, no doubt, but I don't know if this is exactly how I want the album to start. Undoubtedly a pretty song, something I'm definitely going to listen to and go back to. I don't think it's necessarily the best song to start the album off. Doesn't seem like it has the highest energy, and it seems sort of to drag on just a little long for 5 minutes. So I'm interested to see where the energy level goes from here, because I've already listened to some singles and I know that there's some higher energy cuts on the album for sure. Speaking of high energy, next up is Lift Me From The Ground.
Lift me from the ground.
Like, oh my god. If I believe this song was just so like heartbroken, this song is really uplifting. And that clap, baby.
From the ground.
Super Up song, one of my favorite San Holo songs to come out, period, by him. Definitely would have preferred that song to start the album, because it's definitely just like a more shallow cut of the album, something that sticks to you a little bit more, especially that lead melody. Next up is Show Me.
Won't you show me?
The greatest vocals, just like sort of having the presence, but this is a festival jam though. It's all like on that like majestic trap playing, like super hard trap drums, but like a very catchy melody on top. Awfully majestic song. I don't know why, personally for me, that it was just not really catching my attention the whole time. Like maybe a little bit sleepy, lowered my energy a little bit. And I'm not saying that every song has to be a banger. Maybe it was just because the vocals just weren't just so like gripping. Everything kind of made way for that. So I'm not saying necessarily to skip, but that song necessarily didn't really wow me too much. Next up is Better Days with Bipolar Sunshine, which we've already heard. Gonna get my abridged reaction and we'll talk about it. Out of all the singles that came out, this song definitely grew on me the most. At first I could not stand this drop. Could not. But as I kept listening to it, I kind of took it less seriously, and it's a fun song actually, and definitely just a more unique song on the album just to make things seem a little bit more diverse sounding. So overall, pretty big fan. Next up is Always On My Mind, featuring the people that I'm going to list below. Flume vibes. I ain't saying nothing else. Woo! This is the part that everyone cries at on Twitter. Is this where everyone cried? Because I'm getting close. I'm getting there. Same thing with Everything Matters. Like really pretty, but the sonics amazing, right? But for me, it just feels either kind of like an interlude track or an outro track for when everything's kind of all said and done. And maybe because in between sort of the more intense sections of each song, there's a little of like a longer interlude with, some violins and some vocal samples that sort of breaks it up and makes it a little bit more slower. But those are just my thoughts. It doesn't sound necessarily like the meat of the album right here is these sort of songs. Next up is Go Back in Time. Ready? All right. Ah, fucking time to stretch the snare. Hilarious. I don't know about this one, boys. I don't know. Not a huge fan of the drums in that track, and because of that, I don't think I'm gonna be going back to that one. Next up is Love featuring Cassini. Whew. Those of this are fucking flames. All these dudes are very similar though. Like some vocal sample, guitar. I'm starting to pick up as this album goes on more of the sort of the trends that each song has. Ooh. Not a bad song, not necessarily something I'm gonna show to people that aren't already San Holo fans. Very gentle trap banger again. I could do without the interlude. I've said that already. And that's the thing about first reactions is sometimes you just don't got a lot to say. Just a lot to hear. Next up is Voices in My Head featuring the Nicholas. Ooh. Nice. This is cool. This is cool. Very unique drop. Very sing-alongable vocals. Also reminds me of a Valentine's song. Now I could never see that song not being everyone's favorite just because it's sort of a dissonant, interesting drop. However, I thought it was very interesting. Big surprise. I didn't expect a song quite like that. And also I liked how sing-alongable the vocals was. And then it wasn't very hard to digest that part of the song. It was really just that drop that was actually really, really cool sounding. So definitely one of my favorites of the album. Next up is Worthy. We've already heard it. Very dreamy song. A little bit boring except for the last part where it sort of explodes in your face a little bit. But not a bad song either. Definitely classic San Holo. Next up is Forever Free featuring Duskus. I've already reacted, so I'm just going to put the reaction right here. I thought it was going to be some sort of trap, future bass drop, but really happy that it's more of a progressive house song, actually. Definitely one of my favorites of the album. Just has one of the best melodies, and then the progressive elements in it. Just makes it really, really easy to listen to, easy to do, whether that's homework, drive, play video games too. Really big fan of the song. Next up is Surface featuring Caspian. Very moody guitar. Huge. That leads to side chain to the hell. That sounds really cool. These interludes are just really, really long. They're very, very similar. And I'm not a fan. Especially for just a whole album of these just sort of... I've just heard it like at least 6-7 times already. Some people might, you know, shed a tear. I might shed a tear live to it. But for a majority of the album, it's kind of crazy. And that whole build-up for almost the same drop, it's not for me. It's not for me, guys. Last song is Vestal Avenue. This is crazy. Now we're in outer space. This is and the first time the time stretch snare actually sounds like it's in place, just because the beat's so spacey. See, I don't mind having this interlude here because I don't think he spilled all the marbles in that first instrumental section. So you still might be getting something new after this very, very pretty interlude. gonna keep repeating this part for like 2 fucking minutes. Some nice little Foley samples at the end there to really wrap things up. That song started really strong. I understand that it is an outro track, but that's really what it was. It was just an outro track. You know, fine, cool. That's just kind of how I feel about the album. Is there wasn't too many songs that were like, holy shit, San Holo, you've done it. And I'd say most of my favorite songs are the singles. However, I do like Love and Show Me. I want to see Show Me live, and I want to show love to some other people, see what they think about it. For San Holo's standards, or at least the standards I set for him, it's a decent album. Now, it's a decent album. However, I don't know how long that's it's going to last, how much listenability it has over and over again as a full-on project. It seems like something more that you're going to pick apart and take certain songs from. So let me know what you guys thought about the album below, what your favorite songs were. This has been a first reaction to San Holo's album 1. I'll see you guys next time.